Hello everybody, in today's video we're going to look at a set of Heiniger Progress horse clippers. We'll strip them down, see what's wrong with them. They're overheating apparently, and then hopefully do a repair and get them back together again. So I'm Simon and welcome to Oakside Saddlery. So Heiniger horse clippers, they're quite a common one. We see quite a few of these. Not a heavy duty horse clipper, they're probably quite a medium weight. See what we got, see where we go. I've not looked at these yet. So lose my bit of paper that tells me all their details. So initial check then. Use that box, clean that up later. So the clippers themselves, they've had a bit of a clean up by the looks of it. Most of the hair's been dug out from that head there. You can see in there that these are these standard Heiniger part where they use a blade carrier system on some springs. They've had a bit of a brush over on the outside. Oh, but the motor itself is tight to turn in there, so we'll see how we get on with that. So we can see there's a 3-amp fuse in there, which is right for its pack test, so that's good. These are double insulated, so you notice that the earth pin there is just a black plastic. That's to get the UK plugs to open up. Interesting thing then for UK plugs. If you notice the earth pin is slightly longer than the two live and neutral pins. The reason being is when you try and put your fingers into these two pins, there's a plate in the way, and it only opens when you get that earth pin in there first. Hence the reason we use adapters in the UK to make them to 3 pins. So if you push it in, opens the plate up, 2 other connectors can connect in. The covering paint on these must be on there as well, because that means you can't get your finger behind and touch them live pins. And we know how stupid people are. They do like to test these things, but try not to, eh? So the plug in there is all pretty good. Go quickly through that cable and have a look to see what we've got on there. So all we're looking for when we look at the cable is any damage to them, any bodge repairs where people have taped them up, anything like that. Any splits where I can see the inner wires of these, and then that would be a fail on its pack test. So if I do it now, it means when I come to put them back together again, I can already have a replacement cable set to go. So that looks good. All round there is good. So let's have a look at getting these apart. I have a couple of different screws, a few flat heads. Some of these are little posi drive ones in there, little star shaped ones. We'll have to find the right things for them. So I'll just find some tools out and then I'll come back. Good, so I have some of my tools sorted. We have a flathead screwdriver which will fit these, and we have a posi, not posi, whatever they're called, Torx fittings for the other screws that we've got. So I'm going to take this blade carrier off first of all. So there's just the 2 screws either side of here. As always, these are always over tight. I'm going to be swearing. Definitely going to be swearing. Back again. Bigger screwdriver. See how we get on. So these have been a bit tight. Let's see how we can get on with this one. 1 free. Let's try the other side. Excuse my shoulder getting in the way because I'm probably going to have to do the same with this one. Oh, just a tad tight. Probably never ever been off. So 1 screw out. Second screw out, leave them out of the way for the time being. Should be able to get this blade carrier out. Good, so quick check then, we have got 2 inserts in there on the blades. They all look fairly good, there's no broken ones in there. We'll take that apart again a bit later. So looking at the head then, we can take these 2 screws out, they should just be loose. These are the blade fitters. With this one, so that's them. So in here we have another couple of screws. So this is a bit of a strange design. So this cover comes out and then we have another part here that holds this together, and usually I'm not sure how they fit that, but that is on there on like a pressure fit. It's really hard to get apart, it tends to break, so I tend not to take them apart. But we'll undo all of these, see what we have with the rest of it there. So we're going to go electric on these ones. Hopefully they're not as tight. They are, I'll be swearing again. Oh, help if I find the right one in that one, because it's a bigger one. So that was tight. Yeah, so that's these 6 out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, let's put them over there out of the way so we know where they are. That one there is going to be slightly bigger, so let's change over to a different head. That one. Bigger still. That's the one. Yeah, that's tight as well. So that's the slightly bigger one. Over there with the rest of them. So we have a part here. We can start to pull apart. He says, as it doesn't want to go. Let's get that cover out. Oh, just a bit sticky. So looking at that, that is not too bad. So either they've been cleaning that up before they've sent them to me, and that's why they're not overheating. Inside of here looks pretty good. There's no cracks in the casing. There's a bit of hair and a bit of grease trapped around the end, but not too bad. So the motor on these, is that the size of motor you'd expect to see in a bigger set of clippers like this? So this motor here is it's only a little small one, 230, 240 volt. They work quite nice. Don't expect them to do loads. Parts wise on them, forget it, just gonna have to buy a new motor. Now what we find with these is, the way this is all put together is all really awkward to get all of this out of here. It takes quite a bit. This part's free, just need to undo the 2 cable clamps on there, we can get that off. This part here tends to be attached still via this adjustment in there, which fits into there, which makes it awkward to get apart. Can't always, often breaks. So let's have a look here, what screws we got now. Same size again. That's the cable clamp. Leave them in there, we know they're there for that then. The 2 rope bits are just clamped in the back. That cable should be able to come clear. So if we look at this, we've got a blue cable there on what is my right, possibly your left. Brown cable, which is what is on your left, my right. No, your right, my left. One's over here and one's over there. Something like that. So what have we got? Let's see. So we can't get any of this free. See if we get on with it. So, covers off, wires disconnected. We need to get this motor out. It's trapped underneath this gear head on here. We've got a few screws, so there's a couple of screws here, and down inside there there's usually a couple of screws as well. So we're going to take them 4 out, and then what we probably have to do is pull this gear cog off if we can get it, which should leave enough space to get that motor out. The thing itself is really hard to get apart because that adjustment screw is a push fit and I can't get to any of the bits to get it apart. I've tried getting them apart before, tend to break. Different ways of doing them. There might be a technique to do it, I just don't know what it is. So the first 2 we're going to remove then is these 2, and then we'll have to have another look at the ones underneath there. So let's get some of these undone. So this is this one. This one. Second one. And the next 2 are down in there. I can't get my screwdriver in there, it's too big, so we're just going to use a flathead. There should be a cross somewhere in there. There it is. There's like a bit of hair or something trapping in that. That's one free. There we go. Second one free. So we've got 2 screws there that are loose, there they are, part of that. So we can get a bit of leverage on here if you adjust this out so as to its minimum pressure, it frees it up a little bit more. There's not normally enough space to be able to get that motor out of there, purely for the fact that fan is caught underneath it as well, so there's not enough room in there, see, down in here. So we'll have a little play, see what we can find. Looks like we need a little screwdriver there, so we're just going to put a little leverage to it here. Pull that out. Don't lose that. Hopefully we might have enough space if we can get a gear off. We're obviously not going to. That's tight on there as well, won't come free, so we'll have to lever that. That's free. We can take the motors off there if we want. Oh, motors, the wires off of there if we want. Cool. And so this part here is trapped usually under that fan, but we never get enough free to get that out. A couple of times I swore at it, sometimes I broke it, but there's never enough room without getting this part out. Not my favourite design of clipper, I must say. There it goes. So that's our motor out. This part here, can't get that apart, but everything in that can be cleaned up in situ and get most of that hair out of there. So we'll have a little look at that. We can get that cog off now, so we can oil up into that shaft. And we notice the whole shaft here will come out as well, so we can clean all that up and make sure the inside of that shaft is clear. All looks good. So, not my favourite clippers, certainly not my favourite motor. You find that same motor fitted in Lister Neon, Lister Star. I've got a lot of them, all with burnt out motors, not my favourites. But we're cleaning them up, see if we can improve on it, hopefully improve that airflow a bit better. So I'll do that and then I'll come back.